Okay guys, welcome back and thanks for taking the time to join me. I'm going to tie a wee shrimp pattern, and this one's called the Dinnet. The Dinnet shrimp. Basically like a, in my view, an alley shrimp sort of cascade type, just in the same combination. You'll see when we start to tie the fly. Now the hook and the vise is a Partridge Patriot double in size 10 in black nickel. The thread we're going to use to tie the fly is the uni thread 80 in black. So I'm just going to come in behind the other hook and get the thread started. Just run on about 4 or 5 mil of thread. Now you can keep in your thread tight, you can break that away if you wish. If you don't want to do that, just come in and trim it away. Now the tag and the rib is going to be an ultra wire in gold. Don't have to use ultra wire, just use what you have. Now I'm going to catch this in underneath the shank on the way down. So just bring it in underneath the shank of the hook. Nice tight turns, then bring it in underneath the shank, and I want to show you this. You'll not see this. So just take your wire nice and tight in your hand and then just work your thread down until you're in line or slightly past the points of the hooks. Now I'll be past the points of the hook, and what I mean by that is once I let the thread go, as you can see there, my thread's past the points of the hooks. Then you're going to come around with 4, or in this case I'm going to take 5 turns, because it's wire, I like to take 5 at the back of the hook. Then on your last turn, bring it up nice and tight. Now you can feel the tension there, you can see the vise moving. Then bring it in between the 2 hooks, follow this around with your thread. Now it's going to hold it for you, and then just bring your thread forward, and we're going to lock the thread in. You just work your thread forward, keeping it in underneath the shank of the hook. Now I'll show you this. We'll bring the vise back round, just fold it back on itself nice and tight, and then just work the thread back down nice and tight. Plenty of pressure under the bobbin there now with the thread. That's going to tie everything in nice and tight for you. Now you've a good decent tag tied in there. It's nice and robust. You've also a nice body, nice foundation down for to dress the pattern. Nice near body materials. Now the tail is in 3 parts: orange, yellow and black, just a wee hint of black I like in it. Bucktail. Now the length of the tail is up to you. It's how you like to dress the fly first off, and then how you like to present it to the fish. Now I always like to have mine around about 1.5 lengths to 2 lengths, the hook over the back, and then I'll come around with a pinch and loop. Then take a good 4 or 5 turns, always going forward, don't stay in one spot. Then come in and trim away the waist of the bucktail, rid of that into the bin. Now in the tail you're looking 2 strands of flash, orange and pearl, and these are just micro flash. So 2 orange, 2 pearl. Come around with a pinch and loop, take a couple of turns. Now I'm going to fold this back and just take 2 turns over the top. Then I'm going to come in and trim that away. Now at this point, resist the urge to go back onto the tail. Bring your thread forward, bring everything forward. Now if the bucktail starts to move, just stop, bring it round. It's no big deal. Just make sure you're in my view, you're taking the thread forward all the time, because you're going to come back down anyway. And then just work your thread back down. Now when you get onto your tail, you can come in and just hold it, and then just tie down, tied up against your wire tag that you created at the back. So that's our tail in. The body, we're going to uni mailer This is a silver and gold. Uni mailer in size 10. Sorry, to show the spool. It's it there. Or you can use a silver holographic tinsel. I'm just going to catch this one at the back. Just pull it in. Just catching it on my side, sorry, and just pulling it in roughly about half the length of the body or so. Then we're going to come around with our mailer. Now, have a wee check here at this point, just to make sure that you're on the money and you're nice and square up against the tail. Then you're looking just overlapping turns for the front part, or the rear part of the body. Catch that in and trim away the waist. The front body, we're just looking some uni floss in black, or you could get away with a thread if you don't have any black floss. Put this up to the hook, just put it into length, and then work the thread forward. Now you just got to leave yourself a bit of room here at the front. So then we're going to come around with our black floss, building up our front body, follow that around with our thread, a couple of tight turns, come in, trim away the waist end of the floss, and then we're looking 2 turns onto the silver part of the body and 2 turns onto the front part of the body, which is the floss. A couple of turns will catch that in, bend and break away the wire. Now we're looking the business here. I want to see how lengthy that tail. Yep, I'm happy enough with that. So now we're going to put on the wing and the throat, and that's just a grey squirrel tail dyed a light orange. So just got these in the hair stacker, just taking them out, and I want the length of the wing, the tips to be coming past the bends of the hooks. So I'm just going to hold that, then pinch and loop, take a couple of turns of thread just to catch everything in, bed it all in. Then I'm going to come in, lift the waist ends and trim those away. I missed a few. Old eyes aren't what they used to be. Catch that in the throat. It's in the other stacker. Losing it, guys, losing it. So, got another bit of the orange bucktail for the throat. So, just measuring that. Just take a measurement on it, then just come in, hold it underneath, pinch and loop up the way, just tighten up onto that. Just have a wee check, see what way you're sitting, because I haven't sat in stone at this point. Come in and collect the waist ends, trim those away. Now squirrel has a tendency to pull out on you, so the best thing to do here, just want to check this again. Way I'm sitting, happy enough with that now. Just a wee drop of super glue, just a wee lick onto your thread, and then bring this down over the cut ends of the squirrel, and then back up. Any excess of glue you can just wipe that off. Then on top of the wing, you're just looking at a dyed red tippet, or you can have it a dyed orange tippet too. I've tied it that way as well. So just offer this up, lace the length of the squirrel, come around with a pinch and loop, take a couple of turns. Now that's moved on me, so just bring it back round, see what way we're sitting. Happy enough with that. Just hold your wing at this point, trim away the tippet, bring your thread down over the cut ends and back up. Now the hackle, just this is a black it's a cheap Indian hen cape that I get from Vineyards. or you can use a black cock hackle. It's up to you. Right, only offer this up to the hook with the tip exposed, come round with a turn, fold the tip back. This is just belt and braces. If you do this, just means the tip has to the hackle will have to bust off rather than break away. Right, I'm only going to look a turn and a half, and the only reason why I'm looking a turn and a half is because it's a hand hackle. So I'm just going to put another wee half one in here. A wee fibre there. Let's bring that out. Keeping your hackle nice and tight, don't let go of the stem. Follow this around with your thread. Nice and tight. Come in and trim away the stem now. Usually I like to fold the stems back, and it's a good tan technique, folding the stems back, but see the thickness of that stem, that'll cause you problems if you try and fold that back as we come to finish the wee pattern off here. Right, we're just going to then just build up our head. Just build up a nice head on the fly, and then we'll get it ready for the super glue and the varnish. Nice and tight now, keeping your thread tight. Just come straight in with your work finishing tool. Just doing a 3-turn work finish. Put your thread nice and tight, come in and trim away your tan thread. Now, that's the wee pattern. So we're just going to come in now with a wee touch of super glue. Now if you're going to use this on the heads of your flags, guys, just take your time, because you don't want to come into your hand hackle or the dressing at the front. It'll just ruin the whole wee pattern on you. I'll let that dry, and then I'll come in and put on a couple of coats of varnish just to seal everything up. But that there's the dinnet shrimp. That's it there in a size 8, a couple of size 8s here. So that's the wee flags there that I'm putting together. But just to show you a few different techniques rather than me blasting through the video, so that you're getting something out of them. And like I say, you can change the tippet, you can even change the squirrel as well, and you could have a claret version, so you could have orange and claret, and a wee touch of yellow in the tail. Claret, grey squirrel dyed claret tippet, and then a nice claret hand hackle at the front. Many different combinations, and that's what fly tan's about. So look, get the advice, tie a few of those up. Hopefully they can catch you a few fish. As always, guys, many thanks for taking the time to view the video. It's very much appreciated. And until next time, please stay safe. Hope you are enjoying your fishing, what's left of it this season, and take lines.